Red Bull's sister team Alpha Tauri has a rather interesting dilemma on their hands. The return of Daniel Ricciardo was supposed to bring experience and stability, and well, that couldn't be further from the truth, as Daniel's current injury replacement Liam Lawson has created even further headaches for the soon-to-be renamed Alpha Tauri. The young Kiwi driver has shown real class in stepping into the AT04. Surely he would be a shoo-in for a driver spot next year, but it seems like it's more complicated than that. But F1 teams are always on the lookout for new drivers, and Liam may soon have a few options up his sleeve. Want to know if Liam Lawson will be an Alpha Tauri driver next year? And should we even be looking at Red Bull? And was there a secret meeting that bodes well for the young Kiwi driver? Well, stick around as we unpack one of F1's hottest prospects and unpack Red Bull's latest driver dilemma. Alpha Tauri and Red Bull have come in for some severe heat this season, with the team last in the Constructors' Championship and their shock sacking of Nyck de Vries after just 10 races. Step in the return of the prodigal son, Daniel Ricciardo, but let's be honest, the Aussie driver is being outshone by his national neighbor, and not only him, but Yuki as well. Before the weekend in the city-state, Alpha Tauri had scored more drivers than points in the season, but in stepped the young Kiwi driver. Lawson raised eyebrows by making it through to Q3 on Saturday, knocking out both senior Red Bull drivers in doing so and pipping Max Verstappen in the top 10, before converting it into points on Sunday in Formula One's most physically demanding race of the season. By finishing 9th, he scored Alpha Tauri's best result of the year so far. Yuki Tsunoda has a consistent 3 10th place finishes to his name, while Daniel Ricciardo did not score in either of his outings, and Nyck de Vries was pointless in 10 appearances before he was axed. I don't think there was one person who was not impressed by Lawson's race in Singapore, with the feat following on from his P13 and P11 finishes in Zandvoort and Monza respectively. Calls for him to be given a permanent seat have reached fever pitch. Unfortunately for Liam, we fans don't make the big decisions, and ultimately the final say will come from higher up, but it does look like the young Kiwi is doing all of the correct things, with Peter Bayer only having praise for the young driver. Bayer said, "We are very happy with the performance. 2 points and the best result of the season in his 3rd race ever. We're happy with Liam's performance. He fought like a lion." In a separate interview, he added, "The discussions are in full swing. We see each other every day and try to coordinate. Liam has secured a regular place in the group with this performance, and we'll see who will be in the car next year in the next few days." I don't think it's incorrect to say that anyone that does any form of four-wheel racing sees F1 as the pinnacle of motorsport, with only 20 spots available in the world. It really is a tough gig to get, and it's not only that, but staying in the seat is even harder. Now, all of you are probably thinking that this is only one race, and surely we have seen this all before. I mean, Nyck de Vries managed to score a point in a Williams in his first race, and now look where he is. While you can't really compare two races, and definitely can't compare two drivers in that way, Red Bull will be wary of jumping to conclusions too early, as one good race does not suddenly make you F1 ready. But this is not deterring Liam, with the New Zealander super keen to get a permanent seat in F1. I've been beating the drum since before driving in F1, trying to get this shot, and now I have the opportunity. I'm just trying to maximize it. I speak to Dr. Marco after each race. I'm sure I'll speak to Red Bull after this one. Really, I have no idea. It's tricky to get a full-time seat in this sport, but like I said, rather than looking at external things, it's for me focusing on every session, trying to maximize each time I'm in the car and show what I can, he told Sky Sports F1. Now, this is where the bad news comes in for Liam, and to be frank, we find the decision, if true, rather bizarre, as according to German outlet Automotor und Sport, both Tsunoda and Ricciardo will stay with the team for 2024, with the former's deal set to be announced at his home race this weekend. Red Bull have reportedly decided to keep the Kiwi on the sidelines for another year by offering a new deal to Tsunoda and Ricciardo. The move also ends any potential rumors that Sergio Perez's Red Bull seat could be on the chopping block, although that never seemed to be a realistic option given the words of Christian Horner. According to AMUS, the renewal of Tsunoda, who has been with the team since 2021, will be announced this weekend during Tsunoda's home race in Suzuka. The news was also dropped by Formula One reporter Toby Gruner. Gruner posted on X, formerly Twitter, "We expect Yuki Tsunoda to be confirmed for 2024 this week at Suzuka." Ricciardo announcement will follow later. Mick Schumacher is not an option for Williams. He's looking for a double job as a WEC driver at Alpine and F1 reserve driver at Mercedes. If this news is true, then we find it rather bizarre, and quite frankly it doesn't make sense, as the performance on track suggests that Liam should be the one given the seat and not Yuki or even Daniel. I mean, Lawson has finished ahead of Tsunoda in all 3 races he's featured in, including Alpha Tauri's best season finish when he came 9th in Singapore. I mean, there has always been speculation that Tsunoda brings significant financial backing from the team's engine supplier Honda. That, coupled with the fact that he is a Japanese driver about to race his home Grand Prix, make it unlikely that he'll be jettisoned. This is obviously all rumors, and according to Ted Kravitz, there is a rather interesting meeting between Horner, Bayer and Lawson. There was a very interesting discussion here earlier, where Christian Horner was having a very interesting looking meeting with Peter Bayer, who's the new team boss at Alpha Tauri. I'm going to wonder that it's all about what you do with Liam Lawson, who's obviously a little star, the Kiwi driver, and whether they keep him in the car long term, whether they pair him up long term with Daniel Ricciardo at Alpha Tauri. Kravitz revealed on Ted's Notebook, broadcast on Sky Sports F1. Without being a fly on the wall, this could either be good or bad news for Liam Lawson, as they could have also been telling him that he won't be in the seats for next season. It could also mean nothing, and that they were just having a good discussion and telling him how well he had done. If the rumors are true, then I don't think Liam has done his reputation any damage, but only enhanced it. And if you were another F1 team, then you would be keeping an eye on Liam Lawson and the situation surrounding him. But if Lawson is not going to be in either Red Bull or Alpha Tauri, then I'm sure there will be someone wanting the New Zealander. While it's not terrible news for Lawson, it's not great news for Mick Schumacher. The confirmation of Alpha Tauri's future also rules out a return to the grid for Mick Schumacher, who has been searching for a seat since his departure from Haas last season. Mercedes boss Toto Wolff confirmed he would be retaining Schumacher's services as a reserve driver, while also opening the door to possible WEC drives. Mick has a place here as a reserve driver. He is part of the family, Wolff told media in Singapore. We hope that he stays with us in that role. Interestingly enough, Williams is probably the most likely destination for Liam Lawson if he was to look for another seat. Williams team principal James Vowles has been putting pressure on Logan Sargent, the American rookie, to perform if he is to keep his seat next season, with Albon having firmly established himself as a team leader at Williams this year. But with Lawson's future uncertain and Ricciardo set to return to the cockpit at Alpha Tauri once he has recovered from his injuries, Karun Chandhok believes the youngster could be a good fit to partner Albon next year. If I was Williams, I would definitely be looking at Liam Lawson. You've got to have the conversation, haven't you? Because, you know, Albon's outqualified Sargent on every occasion. He's scored all of the points so far for Williams. If you were at Williams, you should be shopping around, and Liam Lawson has put himself on the market in a very good way. Former Lotus and HRT driver Karun Chandhok said to Sky Sports F1. I guess this is now Liam's biggest dilemma, as if the Williams seat becomes available, would you take it? He is clearly a very talented driver, but a move to Williams may not be the best move, as let's be honest, clearly Sergio Perez will be dropped at the end of his contract in 2024, and Red Bull will require a replacement driver to race alongside Max Verstappen. Ricciardo is expected to fill that role initially, given that Lawson will not have the experience required to guarantee that the number 2 driver to Verstappen is delivering the best results possible for the team. Lawson would then move across to the Red Bull sister team in an attempt to stake his claim for a drive at the top table. So at this point, it may just be a waiting game for the young driver. I mean, hey, this could all be ripped up anyway if Red Bull do decide to go for Lando Norris. So what do you think? Let us know in the comments who you think the two teams should consider for their driver lineups next year. Should Williams be shooting their shot at Lawson? And should Lawson even be considering responding to that given their current position on the grid? Thanks for watching, feel free to like and subscribe if you enjoyed this video, and we'll be seeing you next time.